On a summer's evening of 1826, sitting in the window of a Wiltshire downland inn, William Cobbett watched the rooks sweeping over the treetops and the great herds of sheep coming down from the grassy uplands to the folds in the valley. Suddenly he found himself filled with wonder that a heart and mind so wrapped up in everything belonging to the gardens, the fields and the woods, should have been condemned to waste themselves away among the stench, the noise, and the strife of cities. It is a wonder his readers have often shared. Few writers have been more passionately involved in their daily thoughts with the rural life of England. Few have described more evocatively, or for that matter more accurately, the beauties of that England south of the Thames to which Cobbett belonged by emotional loyalty. Few have spoken with more intimate understanding of the farm worker of the early 19th century, or with a more indignantly compassionate view of his condition. Yet, as G.K. Chesterton, the historic Chesterton, remarked, the secret landscape that existed in Cobbett's mind was constantly being jerked out of the field of vision like a picture in a jolting camera. The curious serenity that at times came into Cobbett's thoughts at the sight of a harmonious countryside, the warmth aroused by a chance encounter with a labourer who happened to have read and acted upon the recommendations for country living in the author's Cottage Economy, would be overwhelmed as he began to set the experience down on paper by some enraging thought about ruthless statesmen or rascally middlemen, and he would go off into a rancorous political harangue that took his mind deep into the very world he most detested. Cobbett's life, as much as his thought, presents the pendulum form, a recurring pattern of retreat, even escape from the country to which he felt he belonged as a yeoman by birth and by conviction, and even from England, where he was always proud to have been born. As a boy, he goes on a sudden impulse from his father's Surrey farm, walks into Richmond with the intention of working in the King's Gardens at Kew, spends the few pennies in his pocket on a copy of The Tale of a Tub, and experiences what I have always considered a birth of intellect. As a young man, he sets out for a village fair, and before he gets there, steps on a coach that takes him to London, and thence to the dank woods of New Brunswick, where he serves as a sergeant major in a British regiment. And here, after the birth of intellect caused by his first encounter with his literary master Swift, comes an awakening of conscience. In the garrison finances of New Brunswick, Cobbett encounters for the first time that corruption which riddled every aspect of English public life in the pre-reform epoch. So began the great journey that would continue all his life and take him away from his beloved gardens, fields and woods, on the mission of a wandering and single-handed champion for those on whom corruption feeds. It's a long introduction to William Cobbett's rural rides. Indeed, very beautiful, and I'm going to share them extensively with you. I hope you will enjoy. Thank you for listening to me. I am in a beautiful place in Portugal. Not exactly, this is not even it's a city, and a very beautiful one where I am. It's called Figueira da Foz, and I'm just back from the library. Ciao.